Maybe just a word on the weekend ahead and just the excitement level of, getting to be part of something that doesn't happen every day in terms of the numbers.
Yeah, it's a neat thing. I mean, the Jerome thing, I was lucky to play with Jerome in junior, and I thought that was one of the cooler nights that I was a part of. And this will be no different. They're neat and special nights, and then you double down on that with the Penguins being in town. I think it makes for a really great night.
I know when Elias Lindholm was traded, you said you can't replace him with one guy. It would have to be by committee. Can the same be said about Chris Tanev?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all know the type of player that Chris was while he was here. And, one guy's not going to pick up the slack in the way he used to play the game. So it's what we've done as a team over the last little while. I think that's the most important thing that we continue to do. And we seem to have found our team game where everybody's kind of pulling in the same direction. And to me, that's the most important thing.
How did you decide to, or how did you come to the decision on putting the pairings together?
We haven't yet.
No.
There's basically 7 guys that we kind of rolled around in different spots today, so that's more conversation that we'll have later today.
Presumably the guys here, I mean, they've been fighting to stay in the playoff hunt. You've been happy with the effort, and then they lose one of a teammate who's a very important player. What is the message to them? Because I'm sure it's a little deflating.
Yeah, it's opportunity for people. Like, let's be quite honest. When there's certain guys that die for more ice time, and there's certain guys to get themselves in the lineup, and whether it be an injury or someone's removed from your team because of a trade, this is opportunity for people. So now this is their chance to show that I deserve more minutes than what I'm getting, or I deserve to be in the lineup on a regular basis. So that's what it becomes, like fitting in with what we're doing as a team and making sure you're prepared for the opportunity that's coming your way.
How do you get them to maintain belief that that playoff spot is attainable?
Because it is.
Could your number 6 defenseman be matchup dependent? Because Osterley and Gilbert are different players.
I'm not. Say that again, Wellesley.
Your number 6 defenseman, like whoever gets the opportunity to take Chris's spot in the lineup, could that be matchup dependent? Because you've got 2 different types of players.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we know that Ozzy's more of a skating defenseman. He's very mobile, and Dennis has a little bit more edge when he plays the game. So that is something that we will look at for sure.
Can you talk about what a task it is for you and the team to overcome this morale? This is a blow to their morale, losing Tanev, but also you've got a 2-hour pregame ceremony tomorrow that all by itself can be a real distraction for a team. Talk about that challenge.
Yeah, the ceremony, that's a good distraction. You celebrate someone that was a real important player to this franchise that people know a lot about. There's extra energy in the building, so for me that's not an issue. And when it comes for a morale thing, our team all year long has been scratching and clawing against some of the outside noise, and they've done a really good job of eliminating that, and I don't anticipate anything different from our group tomorrow night.
You anticipate Kuzmenko ready to return?
He might be game time decision. We'll see how that goes. I know he was full in practice today, and our hope is that he will be ready to go, and we'll see. We'll see tomorrow.
We know that Chris was pretty loved in the locker room, and I'm using the word loved intentionally, just having talked to those guys. Yeah. But, I mean, also there seems to be an amazement at just his toughness. As a coach, just having a guy who was willing to sort of sacrifice his body like that, what was that?
Well, like other players, I mean, you learn to trust a player because of what he brings to the table, and Chris had something that was special in regards to seeing the game defensively. You talk about him seeing it defensively like one of the elite players sees it offensively. That was the difference, where he brought something a little different to the table, and the way he approached the game was something that I know rubbed off on a lot of our players. So for me, that's the most important thing. They've had a great opportunity to learn from a guy like that, and now it's up to them to take advantage of opportunity.
It seemed everyone who played with Chris got better as a player. What can they learn from Chris Tanev?
The same sort of thing that they learned from him. It's their time now. I keep going back to that opportunity. That's what's in front of guys now. So if you are a guy that played with him in the past and he helped bring you along, now you have obligation to make sure you're prepared to play and you're going to help bring someone else along. So it's about making sure that they're committed to doing things the way our team needs it done.
Ryan, has Oliver had enough runway now being back that you'd be comfortable giving him a bunch more minutes if he kind of slides into that top 4?
Yeah, I think Oliver could handle 40 minutes a night the way he skates, so I'm not worried about him with extra minutes. Like his is more about the touch and the feel that comes with playing a little bit more regular, but he's been in the lineup for a long time now, so I'm not concerned about that at all.